Hey, it's Bill, and I'm gonna do something really cool. I'm gonna do this like pasta with like a basic red sauce made specifically because I'm gonna, on top of this pasta and my red sauce, I'm gonna add some really beautiful seared scallops. So it's gonna change how I do the red sauce. So first off, I got some penne pasta that I just finished boiling or cooking, and I put some olive oil on it. And I had a question the other day. I was actually in a cooking class of mine. How do I know how much oil to put in my pan? So let me tell you. You want to put a little bit in and then you just kind of dance it around. And you don't want a whole lot of excess. You just want to make sure you coat the bottom of the pan. Is that a better explanation? Alright. So, that goes on the heat. I think I'm going to show you a little trick I learned. I'm going to do this kind of like Fra Diavolo style, so a little spicy. So what I need to do is I need to cut up some chilies, right? So if you cut the end off, and this skin is really tough on this, so that's why you want to be really careful. You just want to take your knife. I'm always afraid because these aren't like jalapenos, they're red chilies. You want to cut right down so we don't cut into the membrane. Isn't that cool? Just want to. And now that I can fully see what's inside, I can have an easier time kind of dissecting, right? Tough skin, man. This stuff has really, and this is a sharp knife, trust me. So look, there's all the seeds. Is that not cool? Did you like that? Little trick? So, what I want to do is I want to get my onion in here started. Cup of onion, chopped. One stuck to my finger. And while that's starting, I just want to show you. So with these, whoops, got a seed. Don't want to make it that hot. And these aren't really that hot, but they're kind of cool. So now what I'm going to do is skin side down. Remember, keep your fingers tucked in. If part of it's too fat, just cut it in half, right? This last piece was kind of big, so I'm going to cut it. Did you learn something new today? And you can do this with jalapenos, you can do it with anything. Okay? Cool. Meantime, this is getting nice and toasty. Just going to add these chilies. Get this out of the way. Alright, we're going to save that aside just a hair. Now, I got some garlic. I'm not trying to really overdo it in garlic, so I got about 3 good sized cloves here. And you know me, it's like 4 to 6, 8 to 10, whatever. Flatten my onion out. And you know, if you think the pan's too dry after you get started, guess what? Splash a little more olive oil in. It's like instant, garlic. The onion's already starting to turn a little bit. It's going to be good. It's going to be really good, okay? I promise you, promise you, promise you. Alright, so now what do I want to do? And I want to count to 10 because it's just started here. And what I like about this sauce is this isn't one of those like cook all day sauces, so it's got a little more oomph to it, and it just pairs really well with the scallops. Alright, so now I don't have the heat up high enough that I'm scorching and burning, just enough to get it all soften and cook. Oh yeah. But because we're not cooking this all day, I do want to make sure I get that onion really translucent and just sweat that garlic. Okay, we're going to sweat the garlic. It's doing really well. So everyone wants the fancy, roast the garlic kind of stuff and garlic confit and all that stuff. Yeah, just be careful how you cook it, and you're going to get the same taste and effect out of it. Alright, so now I know it's time to add so I end up with 2 small chili peppers. I turn it down just a little bit, just starting to get a little crazy. And why do you think they used red chili peppers? Oh, for the color. Now, that, and plus it's a milder chili. If you wanted it hotter, you could put serranos. You could put Chinese chili peppers in there. You do whatever you want. But I just like this. Just so like when you go to the restaurant, Italian restaurant, they have that like Fra Diavolo, a little spicy. Well, I don't know how they cook it, but I see a lot of recipes online where you just put some crushed red pepper in there, and it's not quite the same. I mean, obviously, if you can't get red chilies, it'll work in a pinch. So you're only going to put like a tablespoon and a half in to start with. Sometimes when those start to cook and hydrate, they can get a little hot. Okay, so what do we got to do next? Once again, we got a half a cup of white wine. This is just a Pinot Grigio. It's just something we're going to cook down a little bit. So now I want that heat up just a hair. Sizzle, lean. And that was cold out of the refrigerator, so that was last minute getting ready. I forgot. So we do need to get that a little hotter. Just turn the heat up. Nice thing about gas, right? Alright. It's already boiling and bubbling. Basically, we just want to get a quick reduction. It's only half a cup, so it's not going to take more than a couple minutes. Yeah, got a good boil going on here. Got a good boil. So we're just going to get some really kind of deep, rich flavors in here. And if you notice, some of my techniques change the older I get. It's because I'm old. No. Because I like to learn things. I watch a lot of cooking shows, talk to a lot of chefs and restaurateurs, and just little things that they go, hey, you do it this way. All right, I'll try it. Sometimes I go, it's better. Sometimes I go, not so much. I got some good experimental stuff coming up. All right. So I can really smell the wine. This thing is really kind of chugging along and steaming up here. Good for my skin, make me look younger, right? Once we start putting a lot more stuff in here, it'll be a whole lot harder to reduce. So I really want to be patient. Maybe get a deck of cards, play a little solitaire right here, right? All right, but it is really boiling, so I don't think it's going to take that much longer. I definitely really have softened all those veggies in there. And the wine is started to reduce pretty good. I'm going to give it another, let's give it 30 seconds. How's that? 30 seconds. Oh, why there's time on my timer. Oh, I was timing my facial. Don't want to get too crazy. Oh yeah. Alright, so I got this good stuff going on here, right? So now what am I going to do? I got a big old can of crushed tomatoes. These are fire roasted organic, blah blah blah, but they're really good. And they support protecting bees, so they can't be all bad, right? Okay. So we just need to kind of get this up to temperature. And I hope I said it right, and I'll play it back, but just to be sure, I'm going to tell you, so these are crushed tomatoes, and the reason is that we're not cooking it all day long. Alright, so now what do I need? I need a bay leaf, right? Everyone needs a bay leaf. Now, if you know, I'm not a huge fan. I use them for very specific things, but when I need it, I need it. And I'm going to make this really unique. I got some black olives, just some sliced back black olives. They come in a little jar. And I don't want to go too crazy. Save the rest for nachos. Alright, let's see what that looks like. So I got about a half a cup in here, and I'm going to call it good. Okay, so now all we need to do is really gentle kind of simmer thing, and I'm going to give it like 20 minutes. So let's go ahead, give this a few, and I'll come back and I'll tell you exactly how long it took. See you in a few. Alright, so my sauce is doing really well, and I want to show you about this whole thing about searing with scallops. Searing anything, okay? I did a class the other day, we were searing chicken, and people were like all freaked out. So I think I let my pan get too hot, so I'm going to move it aside. Because first what I need to do, put a little salt in my hand, and very little, but I just want to, and I'm not even going to flip them because I don't want to get too crazy, but I just want to draw some of the juice out. And most of it hits the empty plate anyways, no matter how hard I try. I should be an expert at this. No. Okay. So, if you have a pan that's too hot, you're going to get, it's going to stick. If you don't let it sear, it's going to stick. So, let me see. Start again. Because I definitely let it cool. This stuff cools pretty quick, even though it holds heat. So let's see if we're perfect sound. I hope you can hear that. Oh yeah, there's olive oil in here, sorry. Same technique, make sure you're just covering the bottom. Now, one of the toughest things for me when I was learning to do this was leave it alone. And I want to use a smaller pan because I really want to watch this, so even if this takes 2 batches, so be it. And if you want to give that kind of cool, nice little kind of brown mark to it. You can kind of cheat and roll them in a little flour. I didn't want to add flour to this recipe, so I didn't for this, but in a lot of places that's what they do, just so you know. And these are ice cold out of the fridge, because obviously seafood, you know, we want to be careful with. So like I said, I close my tongs, I cross my arms, I don't touch them. Really hard for me. I always used to be the one, oh, you gotta pick up the corner, you gotta check. That's how you're gonna get really bad sticking, and it's never gonna sear right. And I just want to keep up that sound. And this kind of all came to be because these were really fresh. I got a fish guy, love the guy, and he spent a lot of years in the Bahamas, and he just knows a lot about fish, different kind of weird fish that I would probably never eat. So I got my oven hot because while I'm dancing, putting this all together and dancing around here, I just want to keep these warm. So you heat the oven up, and then you turn it off. Big secret. All right. I think I've talked long enough that I'm going to flip one of these. Are we ready? I don't know. Am I brave? Could have gone just a hair longer. It's just got a little brown on it. And I went clockwise around, so I know the next one will be. Don't randomly just throw them in there, okay? Yeah, next one's going to be better. Promise. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so this is how you do it. And it's funny because people are always trying to, I don't know, like think. So as long as there's moisture in your food, it's pushing out against the oil, so oil's not creeping in. So if you overcook your food, you're going to make it oily. Or if the temperature's not high enough, you know, because you want that steam coming out. I'm trying to. That one's pretty. Yeah. Now we're cooking. Yeah, now we're doing good. And if you don't know much about scallops, they cook rather quickly. So what I'm going to do is the ones that are cooked, I'm going to put them in my glass dish. Sauce is doing good. Pasta looks good. That's the first one I did. for that color. Don't ever cook my scallops. You can really see when the color starts to change. And like I said, unfortunately I didn't want to go crazy with flour because I don't want to incorporate any flour into this. But we're still got a good sear going here. Just taking my time. So the first bunch is over here and they're finishing up nicely. Checking on my sauce over here. Oh, my sauce is beautiful. All in all, it took was like 15 minutes to get this because I knew this would take about 5 minutes. So that's going to give us our 20 minutes, right? And I can tell because the bay leaf is finally starting to give off some good fragrance here. Scallops are funny. They're not what you'd want to cook in the sauce because they probably just by the time they cook they'd be rubbery. So this is really probably our best, safest method. Got this one that's cut funny and it just I can't get it to stand up right. There, look at that. All right, now. So we're almost there. Hope you're hungry because it's gonna be really good. Oh wait, you don't get to try it. Sorry. Alright, so I'm going to work on finishing up this, throw these in the oven. We'll be right back to put it all together. See you back. This is going to take a couple minutes. Alright, scallops are cooked, beautiful, in the oven. My sauce is really happy. So I just chopped up a little, sliced up a little fresh basil from the garden to put in here. Because that's the way I do things. Give that a quick little happiness thing. Oh, really drooling. I'm going to get some of my penne. This is the smaller penne. I think I want about that much. You're like, the man's crazy. He's putting... Yeah, because, when you have two pasta, you really want to get all that sauce in there happy. I apologize, my stomach is like dry. Ooh, this looks so good. Okay. Where do I begin? Oh, I know. So let's take this really beautiful pasta. Oh, so delicious. Oh, I'm so excited. That's a really hot pan. I should use a glove, right? Okay, so these were cooked, so I just want to keep them in here and keep them warm. So I'll take some nice ones. Oh, oh, yeah. So I'm telling you that as quick and easy, simple and great as this is really beautiful. Don't overcook your scallops. You want to get the pink out from the outside, but you know, so they're nice and firm, but not rubbery. If you overcook them, you can always tell because they start to kind of split, section out. You want to keep them just to that magic moment. Anyway, I love to do these really great shows for you because you love to cook or eat what I cook or cook what I cook. I don't know, you do both. You cook it, then you eat it, so it's all good. And even if you don't, you always comment about that looks good or I'd like to try that. And I hope you really are, because some of this stuff is just so over the top, right? Anyhow, this is a really great recipe. I want you to try it, and I will come up with more. Please keep subscribing, commenting, get your friends to subscribe, and you know, give me lots of thumbs up, and I will have something else for you soon. Have a great day.